2016, we decided that we wanted to be the leading event agency in Sweden. We realized when we did the strategic work that we had 9 areas that we needed to change to become what we wanted to be. The result of that was that we had grown from 100 to 160 millions over these 3 years.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Meet the CEOs, the show where we meet the CEOs of the fastest growing companies in Europe. I'm your host, Daniel Wikberg. I'm the founder and CEO of Upsales. And today I'm joined in the studio by Sofi Franzén, who is the founder and CEO of Eventyr. Eventyr is one of the leading event companies in the Nordics, and Sofi was only 23 years old when she founded the business. They grew by a remarkable 160% in 2022, reaching a revenue of 23 million euros. So today we will talk about Sofi's learnings from COVID and how to turn a crisis into an opportunity. Sofi, welcome to the studio. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Nice being here.
Thanks for joining us. So you were 23 years old when you founded Eventyr. Where did the idea come from and what's the story behind the company?
Well, it was me and a friend, Christopher. We were working in ski resorts by that time. And the idea was to help companies doing meetings in the ski environment. So the first name of the company was Ski and Conference Guides.
All right.
So that was the idea. But it turned out to be quite hard to find the clients. So we took the phone book, the yellow one, yellow pages.
Old
started
school
on
style.
A, yeah.
Right.
Started to call companies and ask them, we can help you to do a ski trip. And everybody said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And but we continued. We didn't give up. We continued to call. And then one day we met this guy out on town, the water festival. Remember?
Yeah.
And we were telling about things that we were doing. And he asked us if we could help him because he had this printer, Epson printer, that he wanted to launch in Stockholm. And he had this really good clients that he wanted to have an evening for. So we said, well, yeah, it's not a ski trip, but why not? And we helped him to set up this client event in Stockholm. And that turned out to be really a success because he could focus on his clients. He could, during the full evening, we took care of everything. So he could just, build relationships and so on. And we took care of everything else. And what was good for us was that 2 of his clients asked us, do you do this? Can we engage you to help us also? So then we got 2 new requests, and that's how the business started to run.
Okay.
And so we had the name Ski Conference Guides, calling people and then asked if you wanted to do a ski trip or if you wanted to have something else. And after just a few years, there was this guy in our board who said, well, guys, we are an event company. That word didn't exist in the Swedish vocabulary.
Right.
So we changed our name to Eventyr.
Okay. A lot of the stories I hear, a lot of the people I talk to, I think it's... Typically, this is the case. You have an idea, and you're very fixed on what it should be, and then it just turns out to be something completely different.
Yeah, and we thought it might be a good idea to listen to what the client wants instead of deciding.
Right.
Yeah.
So today, what would you say? What separates your company from your competitors and other companies in the industry?
Well, today, 28 years later, we are the largest event company in the Nordics. Mm-hmm. And so we are 95 people in Sweden. And what separates us, I think that what we have done is that we have picked, the best people from the industry. Mm-hmm. And so we have quite a wide range of what we can help our clients with. And we work quite strategic. So we sit with the management team and listen to what this company, what the plans they have ahead, and then look at what kind of events can we help them with to succeed with their plans. So it's not that we are doing often not just one event a year. It's more to have different things in different channels to help, for example, their employees to build the culture, to help the sales team to reach their goals and so on, and use meetings and events to do that.
Right. So I understand you were quick to adapt when COVID hit, and I can imagine as an event company it must have been very, very tough. What are some of the learnings from COVID and that crisis?
Yeah, well, sitting here a few years after, I can say that I learned a lot during those years. And we were very quick when this came. And I think that we had learned from crisis before. So the first large crisis that we had in the company, that was year 2000, 2001, when the IT industry almost died.
Right.
Yeah. And by then we had 90% of our clients in the IT industry. So we did, WorldCom, we had Capgemini, Ernst & Young, Framfab, all these big companies in Sweden. And we didn't realize when we executed all those events that we didn't have anything in our order books for the future.
Right.
Because we were all occupied with these large things that we wanted to deliver to the clients. So when we came back to the office after all these big events all over the world, we looked in the order books and there was nothing there.
Scary.
So it was super scary.
Yeah.
So we had to change our way of working completely, just over one night. So we came back to the office and told everybody, okay, guys, we are all salespeople now.
Okay.
So because before that, you did everything. So one person sold and then followed the client, project management, executed the event, and then started all over again with the next client. And instead, everybody had to start calling clients. So we understood that we cannot have 90% of our business from the same industry. We need to, be better at selecting more than one industry.
Right.
And then over time, we started to get new clients and we understood of the team who really likes to sell and who, so then when we came through that, we had, a team that always work on sales. No matter how many big deliveries we have, they should only focus on the future. And that was a big learning for us. So when the COVID hit us, we had learned that it's really important to be quick. So what we did was that it was really funny because a lot of people in the team, they did different things, but everything that we did led to the same result, and that was to help our company to still be alive.
Right.
So one group of people, they contacted a catering company and a technical supplier of ours, and together we made this studio so that we could help our clients to do digital events instead.
Okay.
Because what we delivered to our client, that wasn't legal to do anymore. You were not allowed to meet live.
Right.
Yeah. And the sales team, of course, continued to talk to clients and explain to them how important it is during a crisis that you meet with your people but do it digital, that you communicate anyway. And then we started to do digital events that we invited our clients to so that they could see how it's possible to arrange things even though you are in a crisis.
Okay.
And also we had all our project managers, they were talking to their clients and said that, okay, you have this event planned in 3 months, probably that will not be possible to do.
Right.
But instead of canceling that, we recommend that we change it to do a digital or a hybrid meeting. So it was full activity with all those things. And that made us survive this period and even go out of the period more strong. So we got new clients on board because they saw what we did, and we had these events that we invited our clients to, also asked them to invite more people, and had quite a lot of viewers on those. So it was very hard. We were really struggling. The result and everything went down to the basement, but we survived the company. And I think that's the most important thing. And we survived that period also without getting rid of any people. So we had everybody on board. And so I'm very proud of how we worked during that period.
Was there like a special moment? Like I remember when COVID hit, we had this... bringing the entire team together and have this kind of now we have to fight together speech, Were there any memories like that or any determining moment?
Yeah, it was several of those. One was that when we realized, okay, this is really something tough going on, and the government went out and you could go on short-term permission and so on, I had to tell my people that we need to do that. but we cannot go down to 0% working as some of our competitors did. I told them that we need to work at around 60%, because we need to talk to new clients, we need to talk to this existing client, all those things that we needed to do. And then the day after, one of my team members called me and said, well, we have been talking, and everything that you say that we need to do, we can do that in 40%. Mm-hmm. That was in April, and we continued to try to get new clients on board and so on. And in August, I could tell them again, now we go up on 100%. And that was really a hallelujah moment for me to say that, because I understood that this will, of course, affect our numbers and everything. But that is not important. The important thing is that we feel that we fight together, we do this together, and that we have everybody on board.
I think almost all like CEOs and entrepreneurs like want to have that kind of culture. Like you want the team to really step up, and even if it means sacrifices, that everybody's really on board. Do you have any like thoughts on how did you, because you must have done a lot of things in the past to have a culture like that, to have the people like rally up when it was really necessary?
Yeah, we have been working with a lot of team effort, so you don't have individual bonus, you have a team bonus. So, and we have very transparent, goals and numbers and everything, so that people are aware of how the business goes. But it's also that it's clear where should we go as a company, and what is my part of that? What is my responsibility? And within that square, that's your responsibility, you can be quite free. And that was, I think, the success when the COVID hit us, because people knew what is my responsibility and how can I act now? And then they took a lot of, they did a lot of actions by themselves.
Right.
And that was really, really good.
So you currently have a team of 14 dedicated salespeople. What are some of the kind of key success factors for like making sales work in your industry?
I would say that, again, you work in a team. So even if we are around 4 salespeople in Gothenburg and around 10 in Stockholm. Mm-hmm. So if you're a salesperson in our office, you are responsible to get the deals in, to talk with the clients and take care of the requests that we have, make sure that we get requests and so on. But once you have this request, you're not alone in that. Then you get a team with creative people, designers, right. Different team members depending on what the request is. We work on a long-term base with our clients. So most of our clients have had for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we know them and so on. But still, we need to challenge the client and challenge ourselves to get to the next level.
So it's a big part of the growth coming from like existing customers? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting you talk about having team bonuses. Does that apply also to your sales team?
Well, we have bonuses for the full company. So no matter what role you have, you're part of that.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. I think like most sales teams, you have this typical like individual style sales commission, but you managed to make it work without that.
Yeah, we had that when we were a smaller company, and that worked for us by then. And by then, I think also you work more individual. So right. It was you who did the deal. Mm-hmm. Now we are in teams, and everybody contributes to that. Okay. And but still, every person have a goal. So they still have a goal. This is what you should achieve during this year.
Right.
And that is both, if you look at the sales team, it's of course what revenue do you get, but it's also the quality. So we evaluate every event that we are doing so that the client answers a lot of questions and so on. So
and you recently did the merger to become a much larger company.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. What's the story behind that?
Well, we started the company in 1995, and then we did this long journey over years with this new industry. And then 2016, we decided that we wanted to be the leading event agency in Sweden. And we looked at that as we wanted to be, a great place to work for our employees. We wanted to have these high scores from our clients and so on. And we realized when we did the strategic work that we had 9 areas that we needed to change to become what we wanted to be over 3 years. And we did that we worked in these 9 fields over these 3 years very good. So when we closed 2019, we were, in the top of Great Place to Work. We had really high evaluations from our clients and everything that we said. So in our eyes, we were this leading event agency in Sweden.
Right.
And the result of that was that we had grown from 100 to 160 millions over these 3 years. And then I didn't know, what is the next level? I didn't really see that. And I'm a person that really likes to have goals to work towards. And just by then, this Finnish guy called me, Timo Aalto. He called me from a Finnish event agency and wanted to have a meeting. And he told me that he wanted to do a Nordic journey. Okay. So he asked me, do you want to join me on this journey? Let's join forces and, find companies in Norway and Denmark so that we can help larger companies for the Nordic market. We have clients that want us to help them, in different parts of the world as well, but also to be present in those countries. So we made a plan together to become the leading event agency in the Nordics.
Right.
And had a 3-year plan that we closed now in December. And now we have 1 office in Copenhagen. We have 2 offices in Oslo. Okay. We have 2 offices in Finland and 2 in Sweden.
Wow.
So it's been really a fun journey.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And during that journey also, we acquired 9 Yards. That was one of our main competitors. A really brilliant company with a good culture and good clients and so on. And they had a larger office in Gothenburg. Right. So now we are Eventyr 9 Yards in Sweden.
And any learnings about, you typically hear when companies merge, the challenges with like different cultures, different company cultures. Any learnings from that, or how did you manage to kind of put all of these companies together into one larger group?
Yeah, well, it's not been super easy, but when we looked at what company to join forces with, the culture was one of the main things we looked at, because we thought that we were proud of the culture that we had, and that was also why I joined forces with the Finnish guy, because their culture was very similar to ours. And 9 Yards was the perfect match for us. They had existed quite a long time. They had senior people on board, good clients, and they had these sayings that was very similar to the culture that we have. But still, it's of course fine-tuning things, what system to use. We are used to do this. We have always done that, and so on. So, but we have tried to pick the cherries out of each company and to become what we are today. And then we also decided that let's not use any of the systems that we have had. Let's find a new one and go into something together.
Okay.
And that has been, it's always tough when you change systems. But now, 1 year later, it's now we see the benefit out of that and everything that gives us.
So was that the key? Like everybody got to say something about the future, and not like we will bring, the company that acquired that company, their systems and so on.
No, to do it together instead.
Yeah.
But we are still on the journey to get to know each other. It's a training.
Right.
So, but it's really, really fun, and we can challenge each other. And it's really good to see some of the clients were really happy because they might have used one of the companies and the other. Now we could do a cross team. Right. So they got both of us.
Right.
So that was really funny to see how the market experienced this.
Right. And you were awarded the CEO of the Year a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. What's your best leadership advice?
Oh, that's tricky. I would say to be yourself. Not to be anybody else, and try to be honest and open and curious.
Are there any like big differences in your leadership today compared to like in the early years?
Yes, indeed, I would say so. I was just 23. It was not the idea to become, a leader. That was not why I founded the company. So I have really trained and learned by feedback. I tried to build a culture where people dare to say, and I still have so much to learn. I'm quite impatient, and that can be tough for people around me. I want things to happen, this quick.
Yeah.
So sometimes I need to sit on my hands, bite my tongue, and not.
I struggle with the exact same thing.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of entrepreneurs do.
Yeah. So, and I think without that, we would not have been where we are today. So the good part of being a little bit impatient is that you move on.
Right.
You're not satisfied with where you are.
Right.
But it can be tough for people around you.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect in that field, for example. So I have still a lot to learn, but I hope and I think that people around me give me quite open feedback.
Our recurring and favorite question on this show, if somebody would take over the company tomorrow, what do you think would be like the first thing they would change?
Ooh. Maybe the name, Eventyr 9 Yards. We are on a journey to become livlig in the Nordics. So that could be, can I say that? That's already decided.
Future brand?
Yes.
Yeah,
we are moving towards livlig.
Okay. Looking ahead, what's the plan forward the coming years for your business?
Is to continue to develop, continue in all fields we are in. We are now moving in also to expos, helping companies with that. Mm-hmm. We are growing our business to consumer department. And we have this studio, as we say, with the creative people. They are 30 people today.
Okay.
So just that department is larger than most of the other event agencies. Right. And that's also something that we see is growing, what the client asks for. Mm-hmm. So if you're working quite strategic with a meeting, you also want to have, films, you want to have other things that's connected to that. And that is something that grows. So it's not an industry that stays still and will remain the way it's always been. It's always happening things, and that's why I love this industry.
Right. Exciting times ahead.
Yes.
Sofi, thanks a lot for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.